Hello, beautiful friends and family. Okay, so Brussels continued. After I left the hostel, I went to the Grootmarkt. That's where we left off, and it's this flea market thing that's set up like on the. I think it's on the weekends. I don't know if it's during the week or not, but it was set up on the weekend, and it was like an all day thing. Like they were there all day, and it was really really cool. It was really neat. They had some very cool stuff there. So I explored around there, and then I explored the surrounding areas on my way to the Grand Place. I found this Galerie de Saint Hubert, I believe is the name. I don't quite remember, but it was really cool with several like coffee shops and chocolate shops and jewelry shops and all that jazz in it, and movie theater. So it was pretty groovy and really pretty too. It kind of reminded me of the train stations with that sort of look to it, but skinny. Anyway, so after that, I made my way to the Grand Place, and the Grand Place is pretty big, and it's got these fantastic, very Flemish influenced buildings all around, and they're really beautiful. And the what used to be the town hall is now a museum of Brussels. I did not explore the Museum of Brussels. Sorry. But that's kind of because Becca went to the Chocolate Museum instead. So, I have my priorities where I want them. Anyway, so I go to after walking around the Grand Place and staring at all the buildings and stuff. And the buildings, they used to be like uh places where different tradesmen would have their shop or whatever. And so like above some of the stores, there's like the Swan for the butchers, which is now a brewery restaurant. Then there's um there's roses for somebody, and like fisherman or something for somebody else. I took pictures. I don't recall exactly what they were, but I did take pictures, and it was really cool to like go through. I have my little guidebook, and to like go through and see, oh yeah, that was that place, and then that was that place, and oh, and that was that place. This is so cool. That was really neat for me anyway. And I took pictures, so don't worry, they will wind up on Facebook eventually. And then so after exploring the Grand Place, I went to the Chocolate Museum of Brussels. It's not a very big museum, but it's a chocolate museum. Chocolate. And it's in this cute little older townhouse thing with like all wooden floors that creak when you walk on them. It's really really cute. So I go in and I buy my ticket so I can go explore the museum, and the girl's like, be back down here at noon for the chocolate demonstration. What? I'm sorry, chocolate demonstration, did you say? I get to watch them make chocolate? Okay, I will be back down here. Yes, ma'am. And so I go upstairs, and they have all the different like processes of how you harvest chocolate, and or harvest the cocoa beans, the cacao, and dry it and roast it and all this jazz. And then they've got like different information about different regions where you harvest the cacao beans and stuff. And then they've got all these different uses for chocolate, like body products, like body creams and stuff. And then on the second floor in this one corner, they have these like dresses and hats made of chocolate that were in a fashion show. Who knew? And you can't touch them obviously because it's chocolate and it would like break or whatever, but it looks like fabric. It was really really interesting. And then they have all these different like hot chocolate pots, that people would make like liquid hot chocolate in and stuff, and it was really cool museum. Although I really, really enjoyed walking around on the floors and the old wooden staircase that was spirally and stuff. And then throughout the museum, they would have samples of chocolate from different regions. Like they had chocolate from Java, and then chocolate from Sao Paulo, and then like or free trade organic chocolate and all this jazz. So, I'm munching on little pieces of chocolate throughout the museum because, that's what I do. And then you go downstairs and you're walking around downstairs on your way towards the kitchen for a chocolate demonstration. And they've got this, like, it's not a fountain, it's like this wheel that's spinning in this liquid chocolate that goes around and around, and there's this little spout that like it pulls the chocolate off of the wheel, and it like drains it into, it's sort of like a fountain where the pulls the liquid chocolate off, and it just, I guess it churns and mixes the chocolate. But anyway, the point of this is you walk into the room with this machine and this molten chocolate, and they've got the speculoos like cinnamon cookies, and they take the cookie and they cover it in the melted chocolate, and they give you one as part of your tour. Becca ate hers a little too fast to take a picture of, and it was really good. Like, really delicious. It was just really good. It was so good. And then and then you go back into the kitchen, time for the demonstration. And the guy, who was very, very cute, like super attractive cute, is back in the kitchen, and he's working on making these truffle things. And so he polls the audience to see what language to speak in, and unfortunately there are more English speakers than any other language in this group. I would have liked to have heard it in French, but whatever. There are more English people, so he speaks in English, and he goes through the process of making a Belgian praline, or a Belgian praline, as we say. But his accent was so funny and so cute, and I was just like, I could just eat you like a piece of chocolate right now. You are so adorable. Anyway, I did not say that to his face. I did not, but in my head, I was thinking it. Anyway, so he goes through the process of making a chocolate, and it's really, really cool. And he's got like all these different molds, and he like demonstrates different types of candies, like the shells that are the multiple colors, and then he had like a teddy bear that was hollow inside. And apparently, by the way, if it's handmade chocolate, like teddy bear or rabbit or egg or whatever, it's gonna be hollow on the inside. If it's made by a machine, it's gonna be filled on the inside. Just so you know, in general. So I was not aware of this, but now I am, and now you guys know. And then at the end of the demonstration, he gives everybody a little chocolate piece from like a demonstration like a couple hours before, because it's like a little hardened chocolate now. And it was really tasty. It was good. Becca enjoyed it a lot, just saying. Anyway, so then after that, it was about lunchtime, and I was like, want some food. I'm getting kind of hungry. So I start walking around in the general area again, and headed more towards like the shopping district or whatever, and towards the Bourse, which is like the big, like, it used to be the trading market, and now it's just like a big center where people go. And I think there's like a flea market type thing there too, or whatever. I didn't see one, but it's whatever. Anyway, so I head that way, and I see this little like friterie place. So I go in for like some fries, and I got like this sausagey thing. I don't know what the name of it was, but it was pretty tasty. But anyway, the main reason I go into this like friterie shop is because Pav Luciano Pavarotti is playing on the radio, and I'm like, in a fry shop? Pav is playing on the radio in a fry shop. And so I go in, and this guy, it's not the radio. It's not a radio. It's like a CD in a legit CD player of like opera music and classical music stuff, like mostly opera overtures and like Pav. And so I'm like, I'm gonna eat some food here, and it was tasty food too, and it was really funny because I'm placing my order, and Pavarotti is blaring away on the speakers, and don't ask me what he was singing because I don't remember. Okay, I was a little bit more focused on food, but then I go and take my food, and I'm sitting and I'm listening, and I'm like, this sounds like some opera overture. I know this piece. This is from an opera. I've heard this before. I don't remember what it was, but it was definitely opera music. And it was really cool. And I was like, you go, Fry Shop Man. You go. It was awesome. And so, anyway, after lunch, I decided to go to the Museum of Musical Instruments. Let me just tell you, this museum, I could probably live in this museum. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen. I really did spend like 3 hours in this museum. It was absolutely stunning. It's so cool. It's in the old London part of Brussels, and I don't really know why it's called the old London part. I didn't really see anything that made me think of London at all, but anyway, so you walk up and it's this absolutely fantastic like 1920s art deco style, like with really neat wrought iron balconies and such on the outside. And then there's also all these frescoes of like music, various types of music, from like organum to orchestra scores, like randomly scattered throughout the sides of the building. It was just really, really cool building in general. Like, I probably would have just gone inside the building just because the outside was awesome. Anyway, so, and then while I'm standing there staring at this building in like extreme awe and taking a picture, obviously, this group of quite clearly like American guys and a dad walk up, and one of the kids is taking a photo. Well, I shouldn't say kid. He was probably, like high school. Anyway, he's taking a photo, and he's like, "Is this it? Is this the musical instrument museum?" And I just turned to him, and I'm like, "Yes, this is the Museum of Musical Instruments. This is it right here." And then instead of, saying bye-bye or I'm going inside or whatever, I just, leave it at that this is the Museum of Musical Instruments. And I just cross the street and leave them standing there and go inside. I was like, I can't not go in anymore. I have to go in this building right now. Oh my god, it was incredible. It was absolutely stunning. They had instruments from all eras that I can possibly even imagine, and then all different types of instruments that I didn't even know existed. Like, it was completely ridiculous and insane and absolutely stunningly fantastic. You just don't even know. I don't know that I have enough words to describe how absolutely phenomenally incredible this museum was. Anyway, so I go inside and I get my ticket, and they give you a pair of headphones when you go inside. When you get your ticket, you go and you get a pair of headphones to go through the museum. And the woman at the desk hands me the headphones, and I just look at her like, "Oh, I don't want I don't need an audio tour, because that's what I'm thinking." But when you go in the museum, on the instruments, like, at the display cases, they have these little MP3 players hooked up to these headphone jack guys with like multiple headphone jacks in them. And you plug your headphones into the jack and you hear musical excerpts played on the instruments in the cases. And they have this for almost every single instrument in the museum. Which is probably why it took me forever, and I still didn't listen to every single excerpt. I probably could have spent, 5 or 6 hours in that museum, but they almost had to kick me out of it anyway. So I was like, okay. It was, oh, it's so brilliant. I love it. I love that museum. I would go back several times, several, to that museum. It was just fantastic. Anyway, so I thoroughly enjoyed all 5 floors of instruments. 5 floors. From crumb horns to hurdy-gurdies to harpsichords to, a Stradivarius violin to the first bagpipe ever made to rudimentary, drums and, didgeridoos. It was like, there's so many, you can't even begin to fathom I still can't fathom how many instruments are there. And I've seen them all in person, every single one of them. It's unbelievable. One of my favorite instruments, actually, they had this, oh shoot, I don't remember what it was called, but it was a bunch of glasses, like all stuck inside each other, like water glasses all stuck inside each other, and then there's like some sort of water or something in it, and this like tower of babushka doll, Russian nesting doll type glasses would spin, and you use your finger to play the glasses. It was really, really, really cool. I'd never seen anything like it before, and the music excerpt that they had to go with it was absolutely beautiful. I loved it a lot. Like, if I were to play an instrument, it would be that instrument. It was just absolutely beautiful. Anyway. I could talk about that museum for hours, but I will not. Moving on. So, after I spend a good 3 hours in the museum and they almost have to kick me out, I go there's this park nearby, and so I go into this park and I sit down to give my feet a little bit of a rest, and then try and figure out where I want to go to eat. And so, I pull out my Kindle because it's got my guidebook on it, and I'm like, okay, let's see what it has suggestion-wise is, a good place to go eat in the area, because, I'm getting kind of hungry and it's almost dinner time, so why don't I just figure this out? And then I can figure out what to do after that also, and, it'll be all gravy. So, sitting on this bench, and this guy comes up, and, he's not bad looking, he's not ugly, but I don't find him attractive at all in any sort of way. Like, he's a person that I'd just pass over. But he comes up to me, he's like, can I sit on the bench? Do you mind? And I'm like, okay. And he smells like booze and cigarettes. And so I'm just, still going through my Kindle trying to figure out what to do, where to go eat, and whatnot. And he's like, what are you doing? What is this thing that you're looking at? And I'm like, oh, it's my guidebook for Brussels. I'm just visiting, trying to figure out where to go for food and stuff, what to do next. And he's like, oh, well, if you want, I can walk you around the perimeter of the park, and I can point out, stuff that you can go look at. And I'm like, or, you know, where to go eat, museums and stuff. And I'm like, well, okay, you know, that sounds reasonable. Why not? Sure. That, you know, helps me. And so we get up off the bench and we start walking. And he takes my arm and he puts it in his arm. And I'm like, okay, sir, what what are you doing? This is strange. Anyway, so we continue walking, and he has yet to point out anything to me. And then he just stops, and he turns and looks at me, and he starts, like, messing with my hand, like, fondling my hand. And it's really, really strange. I'm like, what are you doing with my hand? This is very... What are you doing? And then he's like, let me kiss you, and tries to kiss me. He doesn't say anything, he just tries to kiss me. And I'm like, dude, no, what are you doing? This was not what we discussed, and I am not interested. Back off. This is not okay. Not okay. And he's like, no, but why? Tell me why. Pourquoi? And I'm like, because I'm not interested. Go away. Leave me alone. You know what? I'm just gonna go. I'm leaving. I'm gonna go. I'm going. We're good. And then he follows me. He like, I like power walk away from this dude, and he runs to catch up with me. And he's like, no, just stay. Give me, do you have a phone number that I can call you with? You know, or I give you my number and you can call me, and I'll take you somewhere. And I'm like, no, I don't have a number that you can call me on. I'm not gonna call you. Just stop. Leave me alone. I told you no. No means no. You know, leave me alone. I'm going now. And so I leave again, and he again catches up to me, and he's like, but no, when can I see you again? I just kiss me before you go. Let me see you again. And I'm like, no, you cannot see me again. I am leaving tomorrow, and I am not kissing you. Do not follow me. Goodbye. And that time he got it and did not follow me again. And I was like, what is it with, you know, French-speaking guys and their creepy factor and me? Like, what is it with creepy guys and me? Why is it that not creepy guys don't hit on me? Why do I only get hit on by the creepy guys? I don't know. I don't know what it is. No idea. Anyway, so this video is really long. Is he gonna let me upload this video? Dude, I don't know. Anyway, so I feel like that's good stopping point. So we're gonna stop there so you don't have to watch like a 30-minute video of this. And then I will continue with my adventures after Creepy Guy in the Park. See ya!